The words someone speaks reveal their heart and intentions. If she says any of these 10 things, it's not just a passing comment, it's a warning signal. Ignoring it could cost you your peace, your time, and your emotional well-being. Words have the power to heal, but they also have the power to manipulate, divide, and destroy. Here's the thing, these red flags aren't the loud, obvious ones you'd expect. No, they're subtle, wrapped in casual conversation, and often disguised as harmless remarks. That's what makes them so dangerous. They're easy to overlook until it's too late. You might be dealing with one of these right now and not even know it. I want you to imagine this. You're building a life, putting in effort, opening your heart, only to realize that someone's words have been chipping away at your foundation the whole time. That's the impact of unchecked toxicity. If you've ever felt drained, confused, or second-guessed yourself in a relationship, you need to hear this. This channel is about clarity, strength, and growth. If you value your peace of mind and want to build stronger, healthier relationships, hit that subscribe button now. I don't just consume this content, use it as a guide to live with purpose and emotional strength. And remember, sharing this knowledge could change someone else's life, too. Relationships are supposed to be safe havens, a place where you feel seen, respected, and valued. But what happens when they become your greatest source of stress? When the words spoken to you leave you questioning your worth or doubting your instincts. These moments don't just hurt, they slowly erode your sense of peace and self-worth. Think about it. How many times have you stayed in situations where something felt off, but you ignored it because you wanted things to work out? It's time to stop ignoring those feelings. I've been there. I once found myself in a relationship where I overlooked the subtle warning signs, words that seemed harmless on the surface, but left me feeling drained and confused. I thought maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm overreacting. I convinced myself I could fix things if I just tried harder. But the problem wasn't me, it was the toxic dynamic created by those words. It wasn't until I started paying attention to what was being said and how it made me feel that I realized words matter. They reveal someone's intentions, their respect for you, and their ability to build or destroy a connection. That realization changed everything for me. What I'm about to share with you isn't just a list of phrases, it's a roadmap to clarity and self-preservation. These 10 phrases are subtle red flags that often go unnoticed, but they carry significant weight. By recognizing them, you'll be able to protect your peace, maintain your emotional strength, and align yourself with relationships that honor your value. This isn't about blaming others or walking away at the first sign of trouble. It's about recognizing when someone's words reveal patterns that threaten your peace and making decisions rooted in self-respect. So, let's dive into these phrases and what they really mean. Phrase 1, it's not my fault, 6 minutes. Core explanation. This phrase reveals a lack of accountability and an unwillingness to take responsibility for actions or decisions. In healthy relationships, both individuals should be willing to admit when they're wrong and work toward solutions. When someone constantly deflects blame or shifts responsibility to others, it creates a dynamic where they avoid growth, leaving you to carry the burden of their mistakes. How can someone share your life if they can't even own their mistakes? Accountability isn't just a trait, it's the foundation of trust. People who avoid accountability often use excuses or victimhood to justify their actions. For example, instead of saying, "I messed up," they might say, "Well, you made me do it," or "That's not my problem." Over time, this erodes the balance in your relationship, forcing you to carry emotional and sometimes even practical weight that isn't yours. Pay attention to how someone reacts when things go wrong. Instead of looking at their words, ask yourself, do they own their part in the issue? Do they work towards solutions? Or do they leave you feeling guilty for something you didn't do? If the answer is no, it's a sign to evaluate whether this dynamic is worth your peace. Phrase 2, you're too sensitive. This phrase often comes across as feedback, but in reality, it's a subtle form of gaslighting. It minimizes your emotions and dismisses your perspective, making you question your reactions. Over time, it chips away at your confidence and creates an environment where you feel guilty for expressing your feelings. When someone dismisses your emotions, they're telling you how little they value your perspective. Sensitivity isn't a weakness, it's your strength in understanding the world deeply. When someone says you're too sensitive, they're essentially invalidating your experience. For example, if you express hurt over a rude comment and they respond with this phrase, they're shifting the focus away from their behavior and onto your reaction. This deflection often prevents constructive conversations and leaves you feeling unheard. To handle this, calmly respond with a boundary-setting statement like, "My emotions are valid, and I'd like us to talk about what caused them instead of dismissing them." This keeps the conversation focused on the real issue rather than letting it devolve into a critique of your personality. Phrase 3, I hate drama, but. People who loudly declare their disdain for drama often end up being the ones who create it. This phrase is often followed by gossip, passive-aggressive comments, or indirect conflict. It's a contradiction that subtly reveals their inability to navigate relationships without chaos. The louder someone claims to hate drama, the more you should observe their actions. Words might say no drama, but their behavior often screams otherwise. These individuals tend to position themselves as victims or as superior for avoiding drama while simultaneously stirring it up. For example, they may criticize others behind their backs or exaggerate conflicts to draw attention. Over time, this creates an unstable environment where peace is always just out of reach. Don't focus on their words, watch their patterns. Are they constantly involved in conflicts but claim it's always someone else's fault? Do they bring up unnecessary negativity while pretending to stay above it all? If yes, this is a sign to set boundaries and distance yourself from their chaos. Phrase 4, if you really loved me, you would. This phrase is a form of emotional manipulation, using love as leverage to guilt or coerce you into doing something. Genuine love doesn't come with strings attached or tests of loyalty. When someone uses this line, they're trying to control you by making you feel like your love or commitment is in question. Love isn't a bargaining chip. When someone weaponizes love, they're showing you their need for control, not connection. This phrase often follows a disagreement or a refusal to meet a demand. For example, if you really loved me, you'd skip that event and stay with me tonight. If you cared, you wouldn't talk to that person. These statements shift the focus from healthy communication to emotional guilt, leaving you feeling like you need to prove your love. When you hear this phrase, pause and ask yourself, am I being asked to sacrifice my values, independence, or peace? Does this feel like genuine love, or is it an attempt to control my actions? Respond by calmly stating, love is about respect and understanding, not conditions. This sets a boundary while keeping the conversation constructive. Phrase 5, you'll never find someone like me. This phrase is rooted in insecurity and is often used to instill fear. The person wants you to believe they're irreplaceable, creating a sense of dependency. However, this isn't love, it's a tactic to undermine your confidence and make you question your ability to find healthier relationships. When someone says, you'll never find someone like me, they're right, and that's exactly the point. You deserve better. This phrase is often used during moments of tension, such as arguments or potential breakups. It's designed to make you second-guess your decision to walk away. For example, no one else will love you the way I do. You'll regret leaving me because no one else can handle you like I can. These statements feed into doubt and create a false sense of dependency. Remind yourself, the goal isn't to find someone like them, it's to find someone better for me. This mindset shifts the focus from fear to self-worth. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, not those who make you question your value. Phrase 6, everyone else agrees with me. This phrase is a form of manipulation that leverages the idea of consensus to invalidate your perspective. It's designed to make you feel isolated and question your own judgment, often leaving you feeling outnumbered even when no one else is actually involved. When someone hides behind the opinions of everyone else, it's often because their argument can't stand on its own. This phrase is often used in disagreements. Everyone else thinks you're overreacting. Other people agree that I'm right, so maybe you should listen. By invoking a vague everyone, they avoid taking personal responsibility for their stance and pressure you into compliance. Respond by calmly asking, who exactly are everyone else, and what did they say? This forces them to clarify or acknowledge their exaggeration. Don't let vague claims make you doubt your own feelings or perspective. Phrase 7, you're lucky I'm putting up with you. This phrase is rooted in contempt and aims to devalue you. It suggests that your presence or behavior is a burden, and that the person is somehow doing you a favor by staying in the relationship. This creates an unhealthy power dynamic where you feel unworthy or indebted to them for their tolerance. When someone makes you feel like you're the problem they're tolerating, they're showing you exactly how little they value you. This phrase often appears during moments of frustration or conflict, but its impact is deeper than the heat of the moment. It sends the message that your flaws outweigh your worth, leaving you feeling small and inadequate. When you hear this, remind yourself, I deserve to be with someone who appreciates me, not someone who acts like I'm a burden. Address it directly by saying, I'm not here to be put up with. If that's how you see me, maybe we need to rethink this relationship. Phrase 8, you'll never survive without me. This phrase is a classic form of emotional dependency, designed to make you doubt your ability to thrive on your own. It instills fear and creates a false sense of helplessness, making you believe that the person is indispensable in your life. Anyone who tells you that you can't live without them is trying to keep you from realizing just how strong you really are. This phrase is often used in controlling or toxic relationships to keep you from leaving. For example, who else will take care of you like I do? You won't make it without me, you're nothing on your own. These statements aim to erode your confidence and make you believe you're incapable of independence. Counter this mindset by affirming your own strength. I'm capable of building a life that aligns with my peace and happiness. If someone uses this phrase repeatedly, it's a clear sign they don't see you as an equal partner, but as someone they can control. Phrase 9, you're just overthinking. This phrase is another form of dismissal that invalidates your concerns or intuition. While it's true that some situations don't require overanalyzing, using this phrase as a default response to your thoughts or feelings shows a lack of willingness to engage with your perspective. When someone reduces your genuine concerns to overthinking, they're telling you they don't respect your mind or your emotions. For example, if you express doubts about their behavior or share a concern about the relationship, they might respond, you're just overthinking it, stop making it a big deal. Over time, this can make you second-guess yourself and feel like your instincts aren't trustworthy. Instead of accepting this dismissal, stand firm and say, I'd like to explore this further because it's important to me. This shifts the conversation from invalidation to engagement, and it helps you assert your need to be heard. Phrase 10, no one else would put up with you. This phrase is perhaps one of the most damaging, as it directly attacks your self-worth. It's designed to isolate you emotionally, making you believe that you're so flawed or unlovable that no one else would ever want to be with you. This tactic thrives on insecurity and keeps you trapped in the relationship out of fear. The moment someone makes you feel unworthy of love, they've revealed more about their own insecurities than yours. This phrase is often used in moments of conflict or after you've expressed dissatisfaction with the relationship. For example, no one else would deal with your mood swings. You're lucky I'm still here because no one else would be. The intention is clear, to make you believe they're your only option, which is far from the truth. Challenge this belief by reminding yourself, my value isn't defined by one person's opinion. I am deserving of love, respect, and kindness. Distance yourself from anyone who repeatedly makes you feel like you're unworthy of better treatment. I used to believe that love meant enduring anything compromising myself, tolerating hurtful words, and ignoring the signs. For years, I stayed in a relationship where these phrases were the norm, convincing myself it was normal. Every time I heard, "You're just overthinking," or "If you really loved me, you would," a little piece of my confidence chipped away. I started questioning my worth and blaming myself for problems I didn't cause. It wasn't until I hit rock bottom, emotionally drained and constantly second-guessing myself, that I realized I wasn't losing love. I was losing me. One day I stumbled across a lesson in Stoicism: you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That quote changed everything. I realized I couldn't control someone else's words, but I could control how I responded to them. I started setting boundaries. I learned to recognize manipulation and to value my own peace above the illusion of love. And let me tell you, walking away was the hardest thing I've ever done, but it was also the most freeing. Today, I live by a simple rule: if it costs me my peace, it's too expensive. And the same applies to you. Protecting your peace is not weakness, it's wisdom. Think back to a time when someone used one of these phrases on you. How did it make you feel? Did you notice how it impacted your confidence or energy? Reflect on that for a moment. This week, I challenge you to be more aware of the language people use around you. Are their words building you up or tearing you down? Keep track and, more importantly, start setting boundaries. Let's recap the 10 dangerous phrases we covered today. Oh, it's not my fault. Oh, you're too sensitive. Oh, I hate drama, but... Oh, if you really loved me, you would. Oh, you'll never find someone like me. Oh, everyone else agrees with me. Oh, you're lucky I'm putting up with you. Oh, you'll never survive without me. Oh, you're just overthinking. Oh, no one else would put up with you. Each of these phrases reveals more about the speaker than about you. Recognizing them is the first step to reclaiming your peace and your power. Stoicism reminds us to focus on what we can control: our mindset, our reactions, and our decisions. Walking away from toxic language isn't giving up. It's choosing strength and clarity. If this video resonated, hit the subscribe button and join a community of Stoic thinkers who are committed to living lives of peace and purpose. And if you know someone who might need this message, don't keep it to yourself, share this video with them. Remember, protecting your peace isn't selfish, it's necessary. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay strong, stay clear, and stay true to yourself.